Howdy folks, Zapper here, aka Sean, and I'm bringing you Unification, Next War India Pakistan. This is what I'm getting ready to do now, or in the process of doing, is this is all the movement, bridge attacks, and missile attacks that happened prior to game turn 1. So this is the disposition of forces before the start of conflict, and what you're able to do is you're able to move each formation or unit. You can go by individual units. I'm going to just do entire formations. So it is going to be entire formations, starting with the Republic of India. They move in one formation, then Pakistan does it, and then they just go back and forth until both sides decide they don't want to move anything anymore. So I started off with my first move, the Republic of India. So we have in the, looks like, I think this is the southeast corner, because remember, north is that way. So I basically move, this looks like the 10th Corps. So 10th Corps is going to move up this way. And so here's the border. You can roughly see the border right here. So we're starting to position ourselves at the border. You know what? I might have to look at the rules really quick. I don't know if I'm allowed to cross the border or not. So I might have to, just check that out real quick and see that if I can actually cross the border. So that may or may not affect what I've done here, but most likely I think that's probably a good first, in my opinion, a good first move. So I will be back in a little bit, see if there's any changes to what happened here, and then I will show what Pakistan did. cities and urban areas are double victory points. So basically everything over here is worth double. But as you can see, there's not a whole lot really to capture. There's a couple little minor towns. There's an airfield there. Islamabad would be a nice target, but as you can see, to get there is going to be very tough, right? These are all secondary roads, and movement on secondary roads is extremely difficult. So it's going to be, this is definitely a slower paced game just because of the terrain and the movement limitations. Now, if you threw bad weather into there, I am playing in the dry season. So as you can see right here, the weather track, dry season, you have a -1 to the roll. If it's the rainy season, you have a +2 to the roll. So it's a lot easier to roll bad weather. But got my sunshine, so you can always start game turn 1. I think in most scenarios you can start it on whatever weather you want. Like, why would you initiate attack in bad weather? So anyway, so there you have it. I moved two formations, so I'll do the same thing with the Pakistanis. All right, so I just finished moving my 2 Pakistani units. The FCNA, I'll have to look and find out what that stands for, but they kind of closing in on this border right here. This is basically a checkpoint, so looks like there might be some conflict here. And then I had the 10th Corps. So this armored brigade, it's kind of, it was right here. So I placed them according to what it says on the chit. So it says hex 3310 as a setup hex, which is right there. So like that would place them out of supply like shortly after, like starting after turn 1, you know, when you check supply in turn 1, they'd be out of supply because that's rough. So I just moved them there. I got them on this secondary road. I could have moved them farther, but I was like, you know what? This allows them a little bit more flexibility to move in either direction. Of course, there's a couple good infantry divisions right there lining up at that border checkpoint. And then I moved the headquarters, and of course these guys up here. They see this spot. Of course, there is a town and an airfield there, so that would be a good target for India. So maybe I might leave one of those divisions there, but probably will move one of them to that spot right there. So there you have it. That is a little bit more movement knocked out of the way. All right, next round of movement. India moved the 16th Corps. So I believe the armory unit was down here. Everything else kind of just funneled up. I think we're going to start filling in these gaps up here along the border, so you can kind of see them snaking up there. And then Pakistan. So the independent units. So independent units are the ones that have the white boxes. So you move, all of those get moved together in one lump thing. So they're considered a formation for purposes of this pre-game turn 1 movement. Pakistan only has 1 independent unit. So they moved this rocket artillery brigade from here. They moved it down here. It's got a pretty good range on it of 4. So they'll be able to support stuff around this area. So there you have it. All right, we're getting close to the end here. So the 11th Corps, they kind of moved up here. This is going to be a nasty fight just because of all those marshlands and everything. The mechanized and the armor are definitely, they're halved when they're attacking into marshland. But underneath, I do have leg infantry for both of them. So, but it's going to be super nasty. India's definitely, or not India, excuse me, Pakistan definitely has the advantage. Of course, they responded by moving the 4th Corps into these spots right here. So we've got, what do we got? We got an infantry brigade, infantry division, and then an armor brigade, and another infantry division right there. So that's going to be it's going to be a stagnant fight, and stagnant not just because it's in a swamp, but just because it's going to be hard to get any kind of advantage. And then one thing, So these little pills that I have all over the place, that's just to remind me that that particular formation has moved already. So just a little device to help me remind. I'll remove all that stuff when I'm done moving. I've also been flipping the headquarters bridge markers over to show that they're done as well. So just little stuff like that. So that's been done. It looks like Pakistan has 2 cores left and India has 2 cores left, and India still has their independence they need to move to. So I believe India has, I want to say they have 4 independent units. They've got that airborne infantry. There's that artillery unit, which I think they're going to leave that artillery unit there. That's a good spot for it. It's got a range of 2, so it can hit these guys right here. Yeah, definitely you can tell the difference between this game, like a U.S. headquarters or a U.S. artillery unit has like a range of 4 hexes, and these guys only have ranges of like 2 hexes. So yeah, it's definitely different. You can tell the quality of the units here as opposed to like U.S. units. So so I'll be back in a minute or 2. Of course, to you guys it'll only be, you know, a second, but with next group of movement. All right, the final little bit of movement has been taken care of. So I basically, you know, I wanted to get it all knocked out. I think I had two core left for each side. So let me see here. The 9th, they have moved up to this area right here. That is Silcott. Again, I don't know how to pronounce all these places, but there's an air base there. I believe that is also a not an urban area. I think it's a city. Let's look. Yep, there's a city there. Fortifications. So that's going to be difficult to. Again, at least that's flat terrain, right? Pakistan, in response, moved the 1st Corps. Now, 1st Corps got some. Actually, no, I am sorry. Pakistan moved the 30th Corps in response to kind of beef up that area a little bit. Pakistan also moved the 1st Corps down this way. They're kind of like in a reserve position, right? So they can either move here to Lahore or they can move over to here. And look at this unit. Boy, that is a big, nasty unit, a 1510. That's a crazy armor division. A lot of strength right there. So, yeah, they're kind of leaving the option open where they want to move those guys. And then India kind of did the same thing with the 2nd Corps. They just kind of left those. Look at that armor division in 1811. So, yeah, they kind of left here. They could have moved them a heck of a lot farther because they started down here. But they're kind of leaving them. They're giving them the flexibility to go to Amritsar. Or, I mean, it's not really a direct path. Because if there was a road that went like that way, it'd be perfect. But, again, the terrain in this game and just the road networks are not ideal. So, all right. I think the next thing that I have to do is, let me see. Let's look here. So ground movement is done. Now we can do the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. We can do British destruction, and then we can do Republic of India missile attacks. We still need to place combat outposts. So we need to do those 3 things. And then we can actually start game turn 1. All right, next step of the pre-movement phase. I have placed all my combat outposts. So Pakistan has 1, India, Pakistan, India. Let's see, where were the other ones? There's a India one, a Pakistan, India, and then I put one final one over here in Kashmir. Now we get to do Pakistani bridge destruction. As long as there is a ground unit next to a bridge, Then we get to roll for destruction of the bridge. Let's see. On a 6 or less, so I'm going to attempt to destroy that bridge. The combat outpost, well, there's a unit there anyway. But these combat outposts actually count as a leg unit that just they can't move. So I can make an attempt here, here, and here. There's really no other advantageous place for me to destroy a bridge that's going to hamper India, right? Like there's like, I mean, I could maybe do that, but nah, that doesn't make any sense. I want to do something where they possibly have a unit or whatever. I was thinking, no, that doesn't look like there's no good spot there. So really, these are about the only three. The combat outpost does count on a 6 or less, but if there's a unit adjacent to the bridge, then I get a +1. So it has to be a, let's see here. Yeah, so basically now it's got to be a 5 or less because there's a +1 to the die roll. So actually, let me take that back. If it's a 7 or more, then the attempt fails. But with the +1, if I roll a 6, so I need to roll a 5 or less. Maybe I already said that. I'm confusing myself, but whatever. So where is... Hold on, let me go get my dice boot. All right, got my handy dandy dice boot. So I got 3 dice. We'll do red, blue, black. So as long as it is a, what did I say, 5 or less, then the bridge will be destroyed. So red, oh, looks like we got all failed attempts. So no bridges get blown, which kind of, you know, if these bridges had been destroyed, for each one destroyed, then India would have received, I think it's 2 VPs. So, yeah, we would have slowed down India's movement, but we would have given them victory points to start out with. So that didn't happen. So there's only one thing left, and that is India may conduct up to 5 missile attacks. I'll go ahead and figure out where those are. I'll probably plot them, and then we'll roll them up live, kind of, because, you know, it's not really live. All right, last but not least, I have allocated my 5 Republic of India. These are ballistic missile strikes. They can be against installations or airfields, detected headquarters, and I think supply depots, but those, they have to be detected, right? So nothing's been detected yet other than we know where the installations are and the airfields. So there is, where's my, no, I don't have it right there. So there is an airfield, or excuse me, an air base there. So we're going to hit that and maybe get, I don't think we'll get collateral damage, but whatever. There's an airfield there, and then there's another facility there. So we'll go that way. I think, let's see here. Let's look at the chart here. So hardened target, because that is the air base is a hardened target. So against a missile, I need to roll a 4 or less. And then the airfield is not a hardened target, so we will go here, and we need to roll a 5 or less, basically. So we'll roll here 4 or less. We want zeros in this game are good. Zeros are actually 0. So 0, that is a strike 1. So we will do, where is, we'll do strike 1, collateral damage. All right, we'll go here. That is a miss, and then we will go to that one up there. So that's a 4. Let me see if a 4 is. A 4 is a strike 1. So that is also, oh, come here. There's one. I got my tray way up there. I'm kind of, so we will do a strike 1 collateral damage. So now, oh, and by the way, I don't know if I've ever covered this before. I'm not really a rules guy. So, you know, I'm not going to explain the rules a whole lot, and I probably will get things wrong more often than not. But just so that you guys know, I'm not a rules channel. I'm not going to do these elaborate rule breakdowns and that kind of stuff. So we had 2 strike 1 versus air bases. So that's what we're looking at. We want to roll basically a 3 or lower. So blue will be this one, and then red will be that one. So we got 2, so red is up there. So we will do, what does a 2 get me? Strike versus air base. That is a 2, right? So we will lose air. Let's see results. Owning player chooses 1 step loss from an air unit in the basing box attached. Let's see here. I'm going to take a step loss, right? 1 step loss. Let's see. Those guys can take a step loss. Those guys can take it. I think these F7s probably can't take a step loss. Oh, wow, they can. Well, it looks like that F7, those are the worst planes we have. Which one's the worst pilot? So that's the worst pilot. So we'll go ahead and take a step loss on that guy right there. And there you have it. That is everything leading up to game turn 1. So not really a whole lot happened. We didn't do any bridge destruction. We did get some damage on these air bases, which will affect, I think we'll have to remove some of these. I'll have to look at the rules again because it's been quite a while. But I think we'll lose some of these planes because of that strike 1 and that strike 1. But that's it. So I think we're actually ready to start actually playing the game. But anyway, hey, thanks for watching.